So who is going first?
Me.
Go on then. This is Carcassonne. It's a German tile-based board game designed by, apologies in advance if I mispronounce it, Klaus-Jürgen Ried, and published in the year 2000. And by the end of this 4 to 7 minute video, I should have successfully taught you all about it. Yay. Actually, no, hang on. There. It's a game about building a landscape with your friends and then arguing with said friends over who gets each bit. I've had this copy for a good few years now, and to my knowledge, the Carcassonne is one of the best-selling board games ever. It's a game I quite like to play with my friends and family a lot because of how easy it is to pick up and how flexible the rules are, which is something I will come back to later. The way you play Carcassonne is by building the landscape. Before you begin, you've got a starting tile which should look like this and has a black back. Mine is called red because ignore me. At the start of every turn, whoever's going has to pick out a random tile from the selection. In this case, I've pulled out a road with a flower bed, and I've got to figure out where this goes adjacent to what's already on the board. So I could connect up the roads here, like this, or like that, or like that. Or I could connect up the fields, like that, or like that. In this case, I'm going to connect it up like that. I can't connect it there or there, because there's a castle in the way, and I need to carry on the castle that way. You see how it works. Okay, now we've talked about how to place land tiles, we can talk about claiming, and that is where these guys come in. They're called meeple, and they look like this. When you want to claim something, you will have just put your land tile down, and you want to place a meeple on it like that. There are 5 colours of meeple for each player, and about 8 meeple each. That is not including the others. So, things that can be scored in Carcassonne include the roads, the castles, the monasteries, and the fields if you want to go out for Carcassonne's sort of hard mode, but for now we'll ignore that. And the scoring itself works on how long anything is. Say this road, for example. Say I put down this tile on my turn and I claimed that with my little merson. And then over the next turn, someone came and used this card. There's only one place to put it, lucky me. It goes down there. They can claim that road whatever they like. And oh look, my road is finished. I count up how many pieces it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points for me, and my little merson goes back in my supply. Castles are scored the same way as roads, except the points are doubled, plus an extra 2 points if you've got any shield logos on it anywhere. Monasteries, though, are a little bit different. Instead, they are scored based on how many tiles you have surrounding it, the maximum being 9 points, because that includes the monastery itself. One of the things about scoring castles that is probably worth mentioning is that you will almost always end up in an argument with someone over who owns what bit of each castle. Say when something like this happens. 2 separate castles, originally owned by different people, have suddenly become the same castle. How do we resolve this when scoring? The way we do it is that if there are 2 meeple, both the same amount of meeple on either side, then both players get the same amount of points, the maximum points. But say if there were 2 reds and 1 green from the beginning, then red gets all the points and green gets nothing. What I think is one of the most interesting things about Carcassonne is that as a game, long-term planning in it is basically impossible. There's no way to really form a long-term strategy in a game where you have no idea what's coming next.
Bro's thinking about some serious shit right now, like, look at your face.
I'm basically thinking, okay, if I put it down there now, then Joey jumps ahead of me, but I'm still in 2nd place. But if I wait for you to do the same thing, then you both jump ahead of me, and I end up in last. So it's actually better. So it's actually better for me to do this. Which also might explain why it's so easy to omit certain rules. when I play with friends and family, we usually don't bother claiming fields because it's a bit of a hassle, it's too hard to keep track of, and it just leads to complex maths at the end, and no one likes complex maths, do they? Oh, and it's also quite interesting to talk about the extensions to the game. For example, here I've got a river, which is one of the ones that comes pre-packaged in this version, alongside abbots, which are basically fancy meeple that can claim monasteries for extra points, and also flower beds, like the one here. And hell, even if you don't want to play a game proper, it's a fun thing to just get out and try and build a landscape. It's quite cathartic if you've got very little else to do, I suppose. I mean, I'm having fun quite here just doing this while I talk. It's actually helping me do the script better, more or less. And that's about a wrap for the Carcassonne video. Before I go, I would like to quickly thank my friends Em, Joey, and my sister Phoebe for helping me out with the part of the video that you will see in the edit, where I am playing a game of Carcassonne as an example. Oh, actually, no. One thing I did find out when I was researching this was that there is a Star Wars version of Carcassonne that I really want. It's about 25 quid, the same as a regular game, which I realised I forgot to mention in the normal video, so I'm mentioning it here. 25 quid, get it, and if I get this internship, I'm using my first paycheck to get Star Wars Carcassonne. Thank you for watching. 7, 8.
Join win! We join win!
Whoa!
I've lost 3 games.
We join 1-1.
I'm actually triggered.